You know, rather lamentably, our government has kept us in a perpetual state of fear with no let-up in sight. The latest report we have is that terrorists attacked a military checkpoint on Thursday night near the Zuma Rock in Niger State. Now, the shootout took place at a town called Madalla, I think I know the place, on the Kaduna-Abuja highway. Now, a soldier was felled in the process, even as motorists scampered for safety. In Borno State, uh, Boko Haram fighters ambushed the convoy of the chairman of Nganzai local government area. I hope I got that right. And the man is a Sheikh Maman Gade. A policeman was killed in the process. Jide, they talk about the Ides of July. They're still here.
Yes. Well, you asked a question. I hope you got that right. You didn't get it right. It's pronounced Ganze.
Ganze?
Yes.
Okay. Is there room for forgiveness?
Well, I may not forgive you, but it's up to the viewers to forgive you.
Okay, Ganze, you said?
Yes, Ganze.
Okay, all right then. So you see, the Ides are still here.
Yes, very much. And I'm really worried for Abuja, the seat of power. Just before we got into the studio, I received a report of armed robbery in Abuja. Armed robbery happening in Abuja is like it's like a rarity. You don't get to hear about armed robbery in daylight. People relieved of their cars, relieved of their phones. I mean, in the seat of power, you don't get to hear about that. Maybe in some of the satellite towns.
Perhaps they do this unchallenged.
No, because the place had been well protected over the years. The place had been peaceful. But now we are facing all kinds of security challenges in the seat of power now. 2 of the 6 area councils have already been breached by terrorists. Now, report of attack on people's cars, taking away people's phones. It also is.
No, I cannot say the Abuja is paying for its peaceful nature. No.
No, we are paying for our refusal to recognize that the threat was there, our refusal to take the right measures, because we can't say that there were no security reports indicating that these guys were moving into the Federal Capital Territory. When the staff quarters of the University of Abuja was breached, and lecturers taken away, the family members taken into the forest, we should have known that these guys had come to Abuja. So what steps did we take to ensure that after that attack on the university, they did not go further?
Yeah.
We didn't really take any concrete steps, or maybe we took steps that were not good enough. So Kuje happened. After Kuje, Buhari happened. And now the report of the attack on, the armed robbery attack on people. Madalla is close to the seat of power. Madalla was where the Christmas Day bombing happened some years back.
I know the town. It's by Zuma, overlooking Zuma itself.
Yes, it's close to the seat of power.
We used to drink plenty of palm wine there.
Sure. And you never took us along. You are selfish in that. And that
no vex.
Okay. Now, if Madalla and other communities around Abuja are not safe, if those communities are bursting at the seams with terrorists, with bandits, if we do not take the right measures, they will seep into the seat of power. This is what we are seeing. If terrorists can attack a prison in Abuja, a prison not up to 30 minutes drive from the airport, and they operated for 2 hours plus and got away with it.
Yeah.
What is going on? That is the question that people will ask. And even at Kaduna, another state that is brimming, in inverted commas, with terrorists, is not far away from Abuja. It just is under 2 hours from Abuja, and the forests link one another.
Yeah.
So we've got to identify where these guys have some preeminence and take them out in those places. People are grumbling about journalists going to interview terrorists and the rest. That's to tell you that those terrorists are not ghosts. People know where they are.
They're human.
If I went to Shimfida and I interviewed bandits in December 2018, and we are seeing other journalists now going to interview terrorists in 2020,
And that the BBC produced a documentary. It means
that's the point.
They had plenty of time.
Before then, Daily Trust interviewed
Yeah.
some of these good-for-nothing people.
Yeah.
Now, it shows that they are not ghosts, that we can locate them and exterminate them. That's the thing. How did the journalists get to where they are? So it's a challenge for our armed forces.
More questions than answers.
Our armed forces must go and serve justice to these people, because one of them, the other day, Aliro, said he does not kidnap, he merely kills. That's extreme arrogance.
In English, what does it mean?
He was saying rubbish.
Okay.
So what does he kill for?
BC, you know, they say we have gotten to a stage where we should, like Caesar's wife, be above suspicion. You know, anything is possible as we sit here.
Honestly, and even Abuja residents, they are not finding it easy. And if you notice from a few days back, everybody has expressed fear. Even if you go on Twitter and other social media platforms, you hear people telling you that if that trip to Abuja is not too important, don't
forget it. Yeah.
On it. And that shows you how scared people are, which is not good for our reputation. If Nigerians are afraid of going to the Federal Capital Territory, then what do we talk about? Foreigners coming to Nigeria, then this is an economy that is depressed.
Yeah.
So how do you talk about investments and all of that? A few nations have already issued warnings to their citizens that they should not go near the seat of power. This is really unfortunate. And to now imagine that this thing didn't start yesterday. It's been on and on and on. It's just deteriorating and deteriorating. And to now also imagine that these people came out to say that they will even kidnap our president. And after coming out to make such a stupid statement, we now see all this uprising. It's really unfortunate.
And again, I know that fear is man's greatest enemy, Jide, and it is man-made, you know. So if this culture of fear is infused in the system, then we're in trouble.
There's every reason to be afraid. Even if, you see, if you were not scared before, if you were not afraid before, the realization that some of the worst bomb makers, some of the worst commanders of Boko Haram have been let loose by the attack on the Kuje prisons. To get too scared.
Oh, yeah.
The last video that these folks released about the Abuja train, victims of the attack on the Abuja train. One of them was boasting that he was one of those freed from Kuje prison. Was boasting.
You can't
now they're on the
him.
loose.
You
now
can't
they're on the
doubt
loose.
him.
Some of them are among the worst bomb makers that Boko Haram has. So we could be seeing, or we should expect, maybe attacks on revelry sports, drinking dens,
yeah,
drinking dens, and we have so many drinking dens in Abuja now, all those gardens. So if we don't take the right steps, nip attacks in the body before they are executed, it could lead to loss of lives. Because they are not just going to free those people for nothing. They want them to join in the evil that they are committing.
Create more anxiety.
Yes, people are naturally scared now, knowing that those guys are still on the loose. More than 40 of them are still on the loose.
For me,
it's a reason to be afraid.
For me, traveling back to my Akwa Ibom goes beyond just taking a ride on the motor, on the vehicle. The scenery, but you can't afford that anymore.
Yes. When you are traveling from Kwara, if you leave Ilorin, for example, you are going to Kaduna, you spend hours within Niger State. Yes.
The landmass.
Yes, it's Nigeria's biggest state. But you'll be happy to take in the fauna, the beautiful, the scenic beauty on both sides of the road. You see the mountains, the way the mountains are shaped and all that. These are beautiful things, just like you are going to Ekiti State.
Oh, yeah, from here.
F1 Laye. Once you get to F1 Laye, you see those mountains, on the right, if you are going.
Sorry, we're joined by Ayola. Ayola is reaching us from Ikorodu. Here in Lagos. Good evening, Ayola. How do you do?
Good evening, Stephen Jones.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, thank you. You see, I want to make a little contribution concerning what you are discussing. Are there no good advisor for Mr. President? Jide, yourself, Ayo, and every other person in this program, you are bringing out so many tangible reasons, so many discussions, so many suggestions, but it's like Mr. President and his kitchen cabinet, they are dead and dumb. Are they waiting until what happened to Gaddafi and every other African countries happened to us in Africa, in Nigeria here? By the time they get to so-called Abuja, the seat of power, does it think, is it believing that he is safe by himself?
Yeah, Ayola, except that Nigeria is not Libya. So I cannot begin to think of what happened with Gaddafi. But the journalist's job is to help mold opinion. And the opinion is for country rulers to take decisions that affect the generality. Thank you for your time. And thank you for your intervention. Okay, BC, the news is also that in Borno State, a local government chairman's convoy was attacked. So you expect anything anyway?
Well, that's not strange. Even the president's convoy was ambushed. His security personnel, some of them were ambushed during the Salah holiday, and a few of them were killed. So who is a local government chairman? So the situation has really gotten to a point that, honestly, it's like everything has broken down. Somebody said things have turned upside down. And even though you don't want to be pessimistic, you still want to be, optimistic about things in this country. And also you also want to be a patriotic citizen. But it's very difficult not to really think in a pessimistic manner when you look at all the things that are happening around us. So,
Jide, except that for the patriot, he gets to the crossroads and he begins to choose from two people who to support, the country or government.
Yes, and the patriot will always choose his country
first
over individuals, over friendship, over anything. And there are those who see us not as patriots, who see us as haters of our country, a lot of such people that you sometimes ask yourself whether they are thinking faculty
or they are members of the human race.
Yes. When people call journalists names for drawing attention to areas where we need improvement, when people call journalists, what's it called, conflict entrepreneurs, for saying that we need to improve in this area, you get really convinced that such people need to have their brains checked.
Yeah.
The job of the journalist is to alert the government to possibilities, things that you can do to make the country better. When the country is better, we'll all be happy.
Obviously.
That is the thing. I've told people that at least I once lived in a happy Nigeria. No one can tell me that the Nigeria of the 70s was not way better than...
Put simply, there was a country in this country, and I lived in that country.
Yes, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I know BC did.
In it.
Yeah.
Today, our children, the other day when I interviewed the pastor, Wale Adefarasin, he said he enjoyed running on the streets with other kids. But these days, kids are kept indoors because they could be kidnapped.
And you begin to look for money for ransom.
So this is the thing. No one wants to go through all that pain.